There are all things we believe are worth dying for. Some people say it's their family, and other people say it's their friends. Some people may say it's the next big thing. However, for most, when this is put to the test, these things do not seem worth dying for anymore. However, according to Bible Sprout, St. Peter took the saying worth dying for literally, and he is now a martyr for the Christian faith. I have been a Christian for 3 years now, and I have done a lot of studying about St. Peter. Today, I would like to give you a glimpse into what his life would have looked like. First, let's look at his early life. Before Jesus called Peter to be an apostle, he was just a normal fisherman. This shows that normal people can be martyrs too. Peter was born as a Jew in Bethsaida, according to Britannica. He was married and fished for a living. One day he was a fisherman living, then he was a fisher of men. As Jesus says, "Follow me and I will make you fishers of men," in Matthew 4:18 to 19, and Mark 1:16 to 17. He then left and began following Jesus. One of Peter's most famous stories in the Bible is Jesus calling him to walk on the water. Most of us can agree. It is hard to fully trust people in hard times, yet this is what Jesus wanted Peter to do. Jesus asked Peter to trust him in the middle of a raging sea, which set him apart from the other disciples, which is mentioned in a New World Encyclopedia in an article called St. Peter. He got out of the boat and walked with Jesus on the water. He started to doubt, but Jesus brought him up again. All he had to do was trust him. Another one of Peter's most famous stories is after Jesus' crucifixion and when he denied him. Jesus warned Peter that he would deny him. However, Peter told Jesus that there was no way that he would ever deny his friend. After Jesus died, however, Peter denied him not only once, twice, but 3 times. But when Jesus rose again, he had a conversation with Peter about how it was okay and we all make mistakes. Now that we have some history of what Peter looked like with Jesus and before Jesus, let's talk about it after. After he ascended into heaven, Peter began being super bold in his faith. He has ministered to many different churches and spoke about Jesus practically wherever he went, as mentioned from an article written by historic world leaders. After Jesus ascended, Peter is seen in the book of Acts expanding the church like never before. He spoke not only to Jews, but also to Gentiles, which are people who were not Jewish. This was important because it had never been done before. Normally, it was just Jewish leaders talking to other Jewish people, but after Jesus died, there was a new move, and they were talking like never before. Through Peter's journey, he contributed 2 books to the Bible, 1 Peter and 2 Peter. One of his most famous verses being, "Cast all your cares on him, for he cares for you." 1 Peter 5:7. Lastly, in 64 AD, Peter was crucified for his faith under the Roman Emperor Nero, who was a very, very evil man. Nero ordered Peter to be crucified, but according to an expert from the Golden Legend, he did not think he was worthy of dying like Jesus. Instead, he asked if he could be crucified upside down, and he was. This shows the depth of how strong his faith with Jesus was and his admiration of him. Today, I've told you a real-life story of a person who was martyred for something they believed was worth dying for. A cause worth dying for, created 1,000 years ago,